Welcome back everyone, this is Kylie the Curly Crafter, and if you are looking for a last minute decor for your Easter decorations, definitely do not think twice about making either my Easter banner or garland. That is super simple to make, and I will show you how in this video. In order to make my Easter banner, I needed some burlap, so I got this roll from Walmart for about $7, and I also have this template here that I printed and cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the burlap and cut pieces of it that are about the size of the pattern that I need, and then I'm also going to need a stencil for each letter, so E-A-S-T-E-R, because my banner is going to say Easter. On Cricut Design Space, I just added the letters on and cut them out in vinyl, and then now you can freehand your little pattern for the burlap. This is actually an example, but I did go ahead with the pattern or template and cut them out pretty precise. I'm just giving you guys an example how I created it. So once you cut out your burlap banner pieces to your liking, what you're going to do with all of your little vinyl letters that you have for your word, I'm going to take each one and put it on one of my banner pieces. So this is the vinyl, and it doesn't stick too well to the burlap, but just lay it down as flat as you possibly can. And then what you're going to do is you're going to need some parchment paper just so you don't mess your table up, because the burlap has holes and paint will get all over your workspace. So I'm going to use some Waverly white chalk paint and also these little beauty sponges that I got from Dollar Tree. And to ensure that you have a pretty clean line, what you're going to do is you're going to dip the sponge into the paint, and then up and down motions you're going to dab it onto the burlap, making sure that you do not pull up your letter. It depends on how thick that you apply the paint. Sometimes you might need to do 2 coats, but directly after I painted it on, before the stencil dried down onto the thing, I decided to peel it up. And if you can see right here, I have a defect. I can just go in with some brown paint and fix it up, and then you're just going to let this dry completely before moving on to the next step. After you have all of your pieces completed and ready to assemble your banner, you are going to need the largest sewing needle that you can find, and then I like to attach some jute twine to it. So the reason I use such a large needle is because it makes it 100 times easier to add on your felt balls. And if you're using felt balls, an easy tip is to, when adding on your felt balls through your sewing needle, I like to twist the wool ball because it makes it a lot easier to add on as well. So in order to form this banner, I like to start with the last letter because I flip it around, and then to attach it, I also use some of this white ribbon. So what I like to do is I like to add a line of hot glue and then attach the jute to that. And then after your jute or ribbon or whatever you're going to use for your banner form is on your piece of the burlap banner, then what I like to do is add another line of hot glue right on top and then secure it onto the banner piece with the white ribbon. For this banner, I thought it would be super cute if I use these little yarn carrots that I got from Dollar Tree. Yes, you get all of them for only $1, and it looked amazing on the banner. So the pattern I decided to do was a felt ball, then the banner piece, and then another felt ball, and then the carrot, and then it'll restart all over again at the felt ball again. And then I just kept repeating this process over and over and over again till I had my complete banner. So the reason why I'm actually wearing gloves in this project is because I feel like that when I'm using the sewing needle, it makes everything 100 times easier as well to apply onto the twine or your ribbon, whatever you're going to use, because it gives you more of a grip when using gloves to hold on to the sewing needle whenever you're attaching anything to your banner or garland. After everything you want is on your banner, all you do is tie a loop on each side just to hang it or hold it up. When coloring your wood beads for this garland, a lot of people actually tend to paint them or spray paint them, but an easy way for doing a large batch that I found is actually just taking some water and then your color paint. I like to use the Apple Barrel brand, so I added the pink, and then for the yellow one, if you can see here, I'm just showing you that you keep adding paint into your container till it is no longer opaque. And then after both of your mixtures are no longer opaque and ready to be used, then what you do is you take your wood beads, whatever size is your preference, and then you just add them into your containers that are mixed with the color of water. This method definitely takes a little bit of time, so if you're impatient and it's during the day, I definitely recommend the spray painting method. But when making this, I like to start it a little bit before bedtime, because about every 20 to 30 minutes you come over and you give them all a stir just to mix around all of the different beads and let everybody have a chance in the colored water. And then even what I like to do is, because I started a little bit before night just to make sure everything is saturated, I like to let it sit overnight, and then once you're done in the morning, I like to pour out the water and then let everything sit to dry. Even after the water is all out, I like to come back and stir them a little bit while they are drying, just to make sure they don't dry funky or have any wet spots that don't look good on your garland. And then after they are all dry, another way to dry them faster would be to actually add them onto a skewer, blow dry them or heat dry them. And then after that, even some of them might have some weird wet spots, as you could probably tell in here, but I like to sand those off, and then they all look cohesive and perfect. And then also sanding them, I think, gives them more of a rustic look. These are some carrots that my mom had previously, and I just untied them because it came in a set of 3 that she used for decorations and didn't want this year. So I asked her to use them, she allowed me, and then once again I'm going to use a large needle with the twine, and then I'm going to start assembling my garland. For this project, I thought it would also look really nice to use some of the felt balls. I also used some natural undyed wood beads, which actually started off the pattern, so it went natural. Then I added a pink one, and then I opened my felt balls and I added on a felt ball. And then I did the same pattern just backwards, which after the felt ball, that means I added on a pink bead and then another natural. So I don't have a whole lot of carrots, and they probably would have looked weird if they were so close together. So then I just repeated the pattern again, which means I added on another natural, then a pink one, and then I added on another felt ball, and then after the felt ball, again the vice versa, which was the pink bead and then the natural bead. So this was the pattern that I did in between all of my carrots. So then I decided to take one of my carrots and add it onto the garland, and after I added on the carrot to the garland, then I just repeated that pattern until it was long enough to my desired length. I made this garland to actually go in my bathroom on my mirror, and I used all 6 of the carrots that I had. Although when I was done, I felt like it was the perfect length and I couldn't have changed the size any more than it already was. I felt like it fit just right in my bathroom hanging on the mirror, and it also looks stunning and beautiful for Easter. So the felt balls actually fit onto the twine perfectly, and they don't budge unless you actually physically move them. So what I did after my garland was finished is I actually added a felt ball on each side, so then I wouldn't have to make a crazy large loop so that things wouldn't fall off. All I really had to do is tie a small loop on each side to hang it up on over my mirror. I hope that you guys enjoyed my Easter banner and Easter garland. That is super simple to make, and this motivates you guys to make it too if you need to. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye everyone!